What's going on, everyone? Welcome inside another edition of the Air Traffic Control Podcast. As always, I'm your host and voice of the Aviators, Dominic Leacani, alongside my awesome co-host, Sam Corbett, PA announcer and pitcher for the team. We are very lucky to be joined by two awesome guests today. We've got Tanner Holland and Nate Bingman joining us. Tanner, Nate, welcome to the pod, guys. How we feeling?
Feeling good.
Good. I mean, excited. Finally out here.
Yeah.
Ready to go play some ball.
Yeah. First pod you guys ever been on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Same here.
Is there like a little bit of nerve? Like, how we feeling?
Now it's just trying to get the nerves out, and I mean, not too much TV time, so a little bit of starter.
I guarantee you guys are going to be getting a lot of TV time this summer with what you guys bring to the table. So let's start with this, because we've been asking this to almost every guy, almost off the bat, but to come to the Aviators, to come to an organization in a great league like the Prospect League, a competitive league, and Tanner, obviously, you've had experience in the Prospect League, and both of you have had collegiate summer baseball experience up to this point. But why Lafayette? How did this opportunity arise for each of you, and why decide to make the decision to play here?
I'll start for you if you
Yeah.
want. Yeah, so like you said, I was with the Burlington Bees last year. Had a blast with the Prospect League. Was with one of my friends too. Got to play every day with Cooper Schulte, one of my boys. But no, it was a blast. Competition's great. You get out here, you get to play, see some of the Midwest. Being from Arizona, you don't see as much of the guys out here. So you get to play a bunch of the Big Ten guys. Kind of another level you get to see. And then just coming to Lafayette, seeing the turf field. Had a blast out there last year and was able to see the staff and just kind of felt like a nice little place to get ready for the turf for where I'm going.
Awesome. What about you, Nate?
So one of my coaches at Parkland, Chris Monroe, played here, and I think he's still the all-time hit leader, but I'm not sure.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, he told me it was a blast. It was a really good environment, good host families, and just a great league. So it's just a no-brainer for me, honestly. I know Coach Sailors would called me and was like, "Yeah, we got a locker room and everything." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll sign. Like, I don't really care."
Like, I'll sign. Clubhouse, I got it, yeah.
I don't change in the parking lot. That's good.
I know that a lot of people in this league, they're using it for just more, whether it's at-bats, more innings, more playing time. Was there something that you guys were coming in, whether it's you coming from, it could have been the same issue with Burlington last year, just heading into a new environment saying, all right, I've got 60 games, I've got to work on X, Y, and Z to go to either a new school or back to an old school and say, Coach, this is what I did, my numbers back up my work, I need to be in the lineup. Is there anything else where it's like, I know I need to, hammer inside fastballs if a guy's going to approach, or I need to do a good job of picking up, sliders from a lefty, stuff like that?
Yeah, a little approach stuff. I know for me, just kind of seeing the ball again, being medical redshirt at the end of the season last year, so just kind of seeing some at bats again, seeing some pitchers, and kind of getting ready, for Rice and getting to see some of the dudes out there. So getting back to the velo kind of issue and just getting ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, me too. I would like to develop some new tools in a sense of being able to drag bunt and just add more points to my game and just see where I can increase, where I can improve, and also just being around Coach Taylor's and all these other guys that just have a lot more knowledge than me. So just learning, I guess.
Now, for both of you guys, we're both JUCO guys now, and congratulations to both of you on your commitments. Nate, you're going to the University of Illinois Springfield. Tanner, you're on your way to Rice. Talk about let's start with this first, because, and this is one thing that I've mentioned throughout the podcast, is that a lot of people, the casual baseball fan, doesn't realize how much of a grind the junior college level is, right? The early wake up, Nate, you're already going through it, man. Like, just the early wake ups, the early morning lifts, like having to take care of the field, right? How do you guys feel that your junior college careers have prepared you to go to the next level?
I would say I had two different coaches through my 2 years at Parkland. I had Anthony Silkwood, who's now at Jacksonville State, and Zach Pitch, who's the assistant at Parkland with Silk. I would just say the conference, the MWAC, it was just interesting. We'd have two doubleheaders back to back for conference series with midweek games, and it was a grind. You didn't really feel much in your body. You're trying to find ways to get recovery, and it's a grind for sure. You're practicing every day, 3 hours, and lifting on top of that. So it's interesting, but the school's easier. I'll say
Yeah.
it's easier.
Okay. No, I mean the best way we described it to our coach described to us actually was blue collar. You know, kind of in the sense of you're out there, you're lifting in the morning, and you get your work in, and since there's no kind of limits on practice time, you're out there pretty much majority of the day. Get your classwork done online, off the field. But I mean it's definitely a grind. They call it a JUCO grind. Everyone's got their JUCO stories. I mean, we were talking about it earlier when we first met. It was kind of our first stories of this is what we had to eat before and after games.
Well, let's hear it. Like, what's your guys' best stories?
Oh, I'll let you get this one.
Let's see. Winners eat. So you split a series. We get an $8 limit at Circle K.
Okay.
That was kind of my cue that I was ready to be done with JUCO. So yeah, that was an interesting one. Yeah, just stuff like that. You're learning how to grind. You're learning how to make ends meet too. Where guys are trying to find jobs, scrap for extra cash, and finding ways to get better.
I mean, definitely the weirdest one I had. We played a team called Cochise, Southern Arizona. I mean, you're right by the Mexico border, and I will say it was an experience I did not think I was going to be ready for. We're out there doing BP, getting ready for the game, and you can see the border from the field.
Yeah.
And we saw two guys running away from it and got picked up by the cops. So,
No
I mean, yeah,
kidding.
It was a story I'll never forget.
Holy cow!
Oh, yeah.
That's unforgettable.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
Let's talk now just about the commitments for both of you guys. And Tanner, I want to start with you. You know, Rice, a very, very, very highly praised baseball program. Why did you feel like Rice was the right fit for you, and what about Rice made it so intriguing, and just what was that process committing like for you?
Absolutely. I mean, it was kind of my dream school as a kid growing up. I was a big fan. My parents went to Texas Tech, so I had family in Houston. Kind of always got to see it, and was able to go to one game, kind of, just around there all the time, and just kind of fell in love with it. And then I had a hitting coach back in Arizona who was really close with the head coach, Coach Jose Cruz Jr. But my hitting coach is Bill Miller. They played together in the league, and he told me when they got together, and he was up at Rice. Told me it was a good school. Obviously, I knew that, and he said great coach. So I immediately got interest. Reached out to the coach on Twitter, just trying to find any way I could get in contact with him. Had me out for a camp. I was in high school at the time, and then went JUCO for 2 years. Still stayed in communication, and then just kind of all worked out in the fall. Committed there, and then was able to just kind of secure with them, and always loved it. I mean, I'm excited, so it should be great.
Awesome. Well, you should be excited. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Nate, for you, UIS, Illinois Springfield, also a very, very good D2 school in that GLBC, right?
Yeah.
Like, what was that process like for you, and finding your home there?
Yeah, it was definitely a wild ride. My first year at Parkland, I was getting back off a red shirt at VMI and had a pretty good year, and then in the fall I figured out how to swing it pretty well, and I had a lot of interest from a lot of schools, and ultimately, I was just talking to them, and it was this whole wait till the spring thing, and I visited UIS, and at first I was like, yeah, I'll visit, like, whatever, and then the coaching staff there is just unbelievable. Like, they were just honest and like real people, and like I feel like you can just tell after being in this game long enough, like the coaches that are just keeping it straight up and honest, and I think that's really hard to find. So his name's Trevor Ford. He was just honest. He was like, well, what schools are you talking to? And I'm like, well, I've had calls with Penn State, Alabama, whatever. And he's like, that's awesome, man. Like, that's really cool. Like, have they offered you yet? I'm like, no. And he's like, you think they are? It's like, well, I hope so. I don't know. And he's like, well, here's the thing. Like, you should go where you really wanted, and we really, really want you. And, like, this is going to be a place where I think you can thrive at. Did my research, and had a lot of guys that knew Coach Ford, Coach Honecker knew him, and, like, yeah, man, like, that place is a real deal. Like, they're being honest. Like, all right, man. Like, I value going to a place that has really good people running the program over a huge name, and that would be, it was just no brainer for me at that point. I was like, all right, this is where I want to go.
Do you think that's the biggest thing you picked up along
Yeah.
the way of, like, just go where you're wanted?
Absolutely. I think in recruiting, everyone wants to go to a school that's a really cool Twitter post, and
Yeah.
I was,
You have a really cool graphic.
Yeah. and like I'd rather play than be a practice guy. And
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with either side, but I just rather go and play with dudes I like. I have two teammates from my first year at Parkland there at UIS, and Coach Ford, I just think he's a real deal. It'll be a really fun year.
And Sam, I mean, you've kind of gone through a similar thing here, taking your COVID grad year, right, at North Park in Florida. I mean, even you can speak to it, like just going where you wanted, and also like, being in a place where you feel most comfortable, right? I mean,
Yeah, it's all about the coaching aspect of like, okay, well, and again, every coach is going to butter you up a little bit on a recruiting visit. That's part of their job, but it's being able to see through that. Just like, okay, this guy's a legit dude who I can have a serious, one-to-one conversation with, and when the lights are off, he's still going to be the same dude as when the cameras are rolling and when the lights are still on and everything like that.
yeah.
It's so transparent too.
Yeah.
When you find that, it's just like that coach just radiates that.
Yeah.
Like it's very clear, and that's
a big thing.
Yeah.
Let's talk. I want to talk about you guys getting in. I mean, obviously you all three you guys were playing catch yesterday because you guys were in early, and then Sam, you guys were all playing catch in the outfield. I mean, I know you guys haven't been together for a whole lot of time, right? Like it's been a couple of days, but meeting the guys, getting a sense of the team, a lot of really, really good guys on this team so far, right? Like, what's the camaraderie been like with these boys, and how much are you looking forward to being able to play with this group at this venue?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'll start off. I got to meet you the first day I was here. Hit it off immediately. Nate came in yesterday, hit it off. I was like, let's just go throw. Let's go do something. Get out of here. And I mean, it's already been great. We all just met each other today, obviously, being here. But I mean, everyone's talking, everyone's catching up. So you find some teams where camaraderie isn't there, but I think this one's got it. So I think we're gonna have a good team. It's a better camaraderie too. So I mean, that's just kind of what makes a team great.
I mean, we got spring training for what, 2 days?
Yeah, pretty much.
Right? And then you get thrown right into the fire with a
There
60-game
you go.
season. Huh?
So yeah, you're stuck together. Might as well have some fun. So yeah.
just very like-minded people and very similar personalities. A lot of JUCO guys. A lot of dudes that are just very similar. When you're playing this game, molds you in a certain way if you let it, and it's just you just get along and usually laid back.
Yeah.
So.
Tanner, I want to ask you because you mentioned playing with the Bees last summer.
Mm-hmm.
What was the biggest thing you learned about the Prospect League from last summer that you feel more like comfortable and confident now coming into this year?
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of my first year summer ball too. So getting able to see those pitchers, I wasn't used to seeing those guys. Big Ten kind of wise. Getting used to different pitchers was kind of a big thing for me. Seeing those velo and getting ready for JUCO last year. And then, like I first thought, it was just, I know a good league when I see it and seeing some good arms. So, I mean, that was kind of the big thing of obviously why I'd want to come back to the Prospect League. Got some good guys, great staff all around, too, everywhere. I mean, all these teams got great coaching staff, great directors, too, that all own it. So, I mean, it's just a great league by itself. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then, Nate, for you, we were talking about this off camera. But your father played collegiately at Indiana. What were some maybe the biggest things that you learned from him, growing up?
You're not gonna expect this answer, but it's honestly he got me. He played at IU for a year and got in a car wreck that ended his career for the most part. And he's always big on just being really humble, and he never really took into the fact that he might know much about baseball, and he would put me in front of people that did. And it was just like I think he really just walked a lot of his talk and was in a sense of like, I'm gonna get you to people that know more than me, and we're gonna do this and try to make you as good as you can be if you want it. And it was, at the end of the day, it was always on me, and he was the one taking me to cages every day and throwing BP and doing all of that. But it was always like, we're gonna get you to people that just know more than me because I want you to be better than me. And I think that's probably the biggest lesson I learned from him.
I love that.
So.
I love that. Hey, as we start wrapping up our show here, you guys cool if we just throw out some rapid fire for you guys?
Absolutely.
Let's start with this. Would you rather hit a walk-off homer or rob a walk-off homer?
I'd personally be an outfielder. I'd love to just rob one.
That's
Something I've never done. Something I want to definitely do. So, yeah.
So that I'm gonna say jump in because I think that answer is warranted because you're an outfielder. We had one of our pitchers say he'd rather rob one, and me and Sam kind of looked at each other like, interesting. You know what I mean? But as an outfielder, I respect that.
Yeah.
Respect that.
Pitchers always want to be athletes.
Yeah.
Trying.
What about you, Nate?
I'd say hit one because I'm an infielder.
Yeah.
And if I gotta rob a home run, that's not good.
Yeah.
What sport would you play if you weren't playing baseball?
Hockey, dude. I've watched the NHL playoffs this year
Yeah.
for like the first time. It's that game was
Yeah.
fun.
Which one? Which specific game?
Well, the most recent one, the Rangers.
Yeah, Rangers Panthers
Yeah.
Eastern Conference Final.
That was unreal. That game was unreal. Yeah.
I'd have to say probably track. Use my speed out there in the
okay.
track field. So yeah, haven't really gotten to try it, but
Do you know
I'd love to try it.
what event you would want to race in?
Whatever the shortest sprint is, probably 100 meter. You know, something nothing crazy.
Oh, I love that answer. You guys have any odd superstitions or just superstitions that maybe guys would go like, "Huh, that's interesting."
I mean, it's not crazy weird. I got these little Lightning McQueen Crocs. I always, used to wear them on game days, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
flew up in them. It's just always something fun I did, and just kind of kept going with it.
I love that. You just like the Lightning McQueen mindset. Like,
Are they light up?
I am speed.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah, they light up.
They'll light up too.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna have to bring them on.
Oh,
on
I will.
Monday.
I mean,
You
they'll be
gotta
here. They'll be at the field every day.
Yeah, they'll be at the
They'll be in the locker room.
Good.
What are the pregame meals like for you guys, or postgame, if that's something specific?
Did you get him at Chuco?
We'd occasionally. I'd have to go to his Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
I'm like a signature member on their app.
Yeah.
Get the 30 count nugget. So oh yeah.
I'd say pregame. My roommates and I just called it Monster Mash. We put like rice,
Yeah.
beef, eggs,
hamburger.
everything's in a bowl and we eat it on the way there.
Okay.
The amount of Monster Mash I got my
Yeah.
host family right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Is that what you call it too? Is this like a baseball term?
No,
So I've never heard of this.
Okay, I've never heard of it.
No, but
Well,
if
you-
he's
you-
got an
But you were
official
just
ingredient.
you acted like, yeah, I know what that is.
Well, no, but if he's got a name for it, I'm gonna call it the name.
Okay, that's
That
good.
is the name?
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of random stuff.
yeah,
that's
it's
good
beef,
for you.
rice, vegetables in a bowl with a little seasoning.
Sometimes we'll do egg, and,
Yeah.
if you're down bad on having been at the grocery store, you soak that thing in olive oil and seasoning, and you're just
Yeah, just letting it go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about the calories. It's not really for taste.
yeah, exactly.
You guys had to compare yourself to a current or former MLB player, who would it be?
I would wish I could say Mike Trout. The guy's fast. He's built. He hits home runs. I probably don't hit as many home runs as him, but just a solid guy too. Great guy all around. I always loved watching him growing up.
Okay.
Being an Angels fan too.
That's a good comp too, especially for like the person off the field.
Mm.
I think that's huge.
I'd say Zach Kozart. I don't know if you
Yeah,
guys know. who he is.
the donkey guy, Joey
Yeah.
Votto bought him a donkey.
Yeah, I mean he's not insane, but just consistent.
Yep,
Yeah.
even keel,
Yeah.
just consistent,
Mhm.
good player.
Yeah.
Last one. You guys have a long road trip. You're on the bus. You stop at a gas station. You get 3 snacks. What are you purchasing?
No JUCO $8 limit.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever you
Like
want.
you get whatever you want.
3 items. I'd probably have to get a Propel if that kind of
Which flavor of Propel are we going?
like the strawberry lemonade one.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
one.
That's
That
an
was my
Have you had the kiwi one?
I haven't had the
Yeah.
kiwi one.
Okay.
I gotta try that one next time we go on one. Those nerd clusters.
Yep.
Those are something.
Yep.
I love them. And then just some good old beef jerky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
I'm
feel
surprised
bad.
nobody said beef.
I know,
jerky.
right?
That's
I mean,
so
that's
good.
usually a go-to. We only had one honey bun too, which that doesn't technically surprise me because all these guys are 10 times healthier than I am. But you know what I mean. But
There you go.
I'd say, when we had like the Southern Illinois trips, a lot of those gas stations are decked out,
yeah.
and they'd have like these little like sausage link things with cheese, and they just go back and forth,
Yeah.
and you'd get like a 4-pack. I'd definitely get one of those with like pepper jack, and then chocolate milk for sure,
Yeah.
and then. Nerd clusters, dude.
Yeah.
Those are good.
I'll have to try because I never had.
It's a
them,
good
so,
candy.
Yeah.
You never had them? I don't know when they started coming out.
Are you
but
getting
ever since.
the yellow, the hard shell, or the regular?
Doing the regular pan.
Yeah, the regular
yeah,
pink
that
bag?
one's good.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I gotta bring you some.
Well, the thing.
Okay,
got-
yeah, you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to look me up.
The amount of
they're
nerds
so
clusters that are in the bottom of my bag.
They can do a study because there's got to be some chemical thing.
They did it. I don't know how they did it. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Great combination.
It's like you actually can't put
Stop.
it down.
No,
Like,
it's
you
a
can
whole
eat
bag.
the
It's
whole bag.
never
That's-
yeah,
it's
it's
a
never
whole
just
bag.
two.
It's
It's
just-
just-
yeah, you're just going through it.
Oh yeah.
Like Twizzlers, you can eat a couple,
And you're fine.
Like,
Uh-huh.
no, those aren't.
Nerds, the whole
That's the
whole
whole
bag's
thing.
being deleted.
Whole thing.
We'll leave it with this then. What's the biggest thing that both of you guys are working on this summer? That if you were to set a goal for yourself, going into next season at your new schools, you're saying I really want to get better at X.
Definitely one. Obviously, we love to increase the arm strength, kind of get back into throwing again. Haven't with being a medical redshirt, haven't been able to do the games as much, so being able to strengthen up the arm again, go do that, and then just kind of seeing pitching again. Seeing the heaters, getting back into it. Just kind of having some fun with some guys too. Just having a good summer.
Love that.
Yeah, I would say I got this from Silkwood, my first year coach at Parkland, where he would always talk about like when you like fail in baseball, like the world's never on top of you like you think it is, and when you're having really good highs, you're also not as good as you think you is. So just continuing to find a way to stay like this. And I know my coach at Parkland this year would always do this too.
Yeah.
We talk about just staying in the middle. So I would say just continue to focus on that, because I'll tend to not ride my highs very well, but I'll ride the lows pretty well. So just trying to find a way to just stay in the middle.
One of my old coaches, he said, being at a constant 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, hey, the first podcast for both of you, not bad, huh?
Not
Not bad. Pretty fun, right?
Not bad.
Oh, we'd love to have you guys back on again.
Absolutely.
This has been fun.
Yeah.
Tanner, Nate, thank you guys so much for joining us,
Thank
and
you.
appreciate it. Have a heck of a season. Have some fun, and we can't wait to watch on the field.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys. This has been another episode of the Air Traffic Control Podcast. I've been Dominic Leacani with Sam Corbett and our two awesome guests. Hey, make sure if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, subscribe, like, add our podcast on whatever platform you get your podcasts on. We love to continue to be a part of your summer, because the Flyboys are here for the 2024 season, and we are so excited to see you out at Loeb Stadium. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode. We'll see you for another one.